Konnichiwa! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Nihongo Master podcast. I'm your host Azra, and for this episode, we're going to spice things up a bit. I guess you can already tell by the title. We'll strip it down today to just a casual chit-chat sesh, with a small talk bit at the end. If you're interested in anime, Japanese culture, and everything in between, stick around. Those are the main highlights of the next few minutes. Of course, you've heard my voice plenty, even me talking to myself. So I'm not doing it alone today. I've got myself a chit-chat partner, and he's our special guest for today. Coming to you from Southern California, I'm excited to introduce to you Gino K. Welcome to the show, Gino.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know yet, who are you? Tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
Yes, so my name is Gino. To kind of keep it simple, I'm a dental student in the day, a family man by night, and TikToker whenever I have the time in between. So it's super cool that I get to be here as a Nihongo Master ambassador. So thank you for having me. This is kind of like my first podcast experience, so I
Oh,
hope I'm
really?
yeah, like this is my first one. I have this kind of janky setup in my room. This mic is not even standing on anything. Um, and I have like boxes stacked on top of each other just to keep all the camera all stabilized and
Yours look more professional than mine. I have pillows just holding all of mine up, so it's fine.
I literally like the background. It looks like little leaves, like Zen architecture.
Yeah, it looks zen, but then it's pretty modern. I think it's nice. Yeah. So, we discovered you on one of your videos, teaching colors in Japanese with the little Among Us characters.
Oh yeah, that one was like right around the summertime when the whole Among Us phase was like blowing up. So I just thought, hey, maybe I could teach some colors, like throw some reds, blues in there, and yeah, suddenly it got like maybe 500,000 views.
Wow, that is mad. So how did you get so from there all the followers just started coming in?
Yeah, so I wasn't really sure what my theme of my TikTok was gonna be like. I first was kind of messing with, comedy skits and maybe like dental related videos, but then, I was like, I'm into Japanese. Maybe some people would like to learn a little bit since anime is kind of big right now. So I made a few videos in Japanese, and those were like the biggest ones. And now a lot of my followers are basically those that want to learn Japanese.
So how did you learn Japanese? Were you born there or do your parents speak the language?
Yeah, so I was born in Kanagawa Ken, the Kanagawa prefecture in Japan, and my mom is Japanese, so she's full. My dad is actually half Filipino, half Spanish, so I'm kind of mixed. And so growing up, my mom didn't really know how to speak English, and so she really was the one that kind of helped me learn Japanese. So reading like books in Japanese and watching like Doraemon and like Anpanman growing up, like those were my shows growing up. That's what I considered anime for me. So like having her like talk to me in Japanese and all these resources, even like my mom's side of the family are all in Japan too. So I had a lot of people that I talked to,
Mm,
and that kind of helped me retain my Japanese. And here and there in high school too, I made some Japanese friends.
nice. So you said you were born in Kanagawa.
Yes.
Which part of Kanagawa?
Yamatoshi.
Ah, I used to stay in Kanagawa, so I moved from Tokyo to Kanagawa. Yeah.
Oh, really? But now you're in Okinawa or Osaka?
Yeah, now I'm in Okinawa.
Okinawa, Okinawa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you said you have extended families in Japan.
Yes, I do. So, I actually got to go visit them over Christmas 2019, before the whole pandemic happened. So it was like a good opportunity for me to bring my family, my wife and daughter. It's like their first time in Japan too, and it was my family's first time meeting them. And it was a lot of fun. There was obviously some language barriers, so I had to do a little bit of translation here and there.
Mm-mm-mm.
But overall, I think just being with everyone, because I don't really get to see them like maybe once in maybe 3 years.
Wow.
So it was really nice. There's always something new going on with my family over there.
So there was a language barrier.
Uh
So
huh.
your wife and kid cannot speak Japanese.
Right. So my wife is Filipino, so she's full. Um, so I'm trying my best to pass on my Japanese, language, my Japanese roots to my daughter. But it's so hard, especially since I speak English at the house and everywhere when I go to school and like public and stuff. it's like I really wish I had someone else that spoke Japanese. So it's like there's like that
Mm.
passive learning that my daughter can pick up on. But here and there, like I try to teach a few vocab words. Like, I started like when I bathed my daughter in the shower. Um, every time I like wash like a body part, like her arm, it's like, what is this? And she'll be like, ude, or like, what is this? Like onaka, you know. So she's like picking
Ah,
up. She's like super smart, and um, her favorite phrase is so she calls me Dada
oh,
as
cute.
like dad. So whenever she wants to play, she'll be like Dada to asobu, like that kind of thing.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, trying to make it fun for her. So she's
Mm-mm.
picking it up really well.
How old is she?
She just turned 3 in January.
Wow. So she's 3. How old are
Hmm.
you? So I know you
Oh,
get a lot of this question.
yeah. Oh man, exposing my age here, but no, like I'm 25.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw
Quarter of
your
a
videos,
century.
I thought you were like 19, 20.
Oh,
Like
okay. That's pretty good. I mean, people still think I'm still in high school, so I get carded whenever I go to like
you still do.
restaurants and bars. Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well. Like everywhere I go, it's fine. But then when we're like 40, we'll look 30, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm starting to grow some gray hair, trying to look a little bit wiser as I get
Just
older.
diet as well.
Yeah.
So, we have season 4 focusing on Japan with regards to traveling. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners are excited about visiting Japan once travel restrictions begin to lift. From your previous trips, what are some things that you looked forward to?
Yeah, so whenever I go, I'm always in Tokyo area. So I love going to like Shibuya and like shopping districts like Ginza, Roppongi, and those places. Um, it's very like city like, kind of like LA. So I'm from California, so it's very similar, like the lifestyle. If you also live in New York, it's pretty similar like that
Mm,
too. But I do notice, like especially as a dad, there's a lot of things catered towards kids.
mm-hmm,
So department stores, they have little play areas, and they have Tokyo Disneyland and Sea, and it's called Sanrio Purorando or something
mm-mm.
that we got to go take my family to. Um, but those are the things that I look forward to besides seeing family and maybe catching up with old high school friends that they did the exchange program where they would spend a couple months in our high school, and then they would try to learn English. And so I became friends with a lot of those English as second language students. And so whenever I go to Japan, I still have their Line account, and I try to catch up with them, get some
Mm.
dinner or something.
Oh, that's nice.
I think what my wife really loved about Japan was like the TV shows that they would stream,
Mm,
and like I'm in America, like watching through cable TV has been kind of like a old school kind of thing. Like
mm,
people stream Netflix and have all these online subscriptions. So to have 24-hour terebi channels, they have the 24時間 terebi bangumis like during the New Year's Christmas time where they
mm,
played like nonstop entertainment stuff for 24 hours.
mm.
And so she was like, she doesn't understand Japanese, but just seeing all like the comedians like run around and like getting hit by things and like
Yeah.
going through all these obstacle courses, like she was like sitting there for a couple hours, and she's like, I don't even understand what they're saying, but this is funny, you know?
I think the thing about like Japanese TV, what I notice is that they have this where they try new things and they eat it and they go, oishi for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's like a trend where it's like, is this cake like, they would have like a cake that's looking in the shape of a shoe or something, and they try to
Mm,
bite it. And so
mm,
when they bite it, it's either cake or like an actual shoe. And it's like the game is all based on whether if it's a cake or like the actual thing that's being on the plate.
yeah, it's mad. They can make something so entertaining, something so small. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember like they call it Ninja Warriors or
Mm. Yeah, they have
yeah,
that in America, right?
they do.
Mm.
It's like a huge competition now.
Yeah.
It's like so serious. So I kind of like the old like Japanese one where it's like all for fun. Everybody's getting
Mm.
hurt.
Mm-mm.
But there's actually people that's training to be like the next ninja warrior, and I have a couple of friends that are like, working out and training for that. So
Really? That's
yeah,
mad. Back in Singapore, my dad loves watching like Ninja Warriors, but
uh-huh,
like the American one.
yeah,
But we didn't know it was Japanese.
yeah.
So when we saw like the Japanese team against like big buff American guys, we're like, nah, there's no way. There's no way they can win.
No way, yeah. Yeah, a lot of shows are based off of like old Japanese game
Yeah,
shows, so
that's so
some
cool.
reference there.
So, maybe for our listeners, can you share a little bit more about what they can expect if they're visiting Japan for the first time?
So, assuming you've never been to Japan, one thing that you're gonna notice is a lot of people there are super nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's like almost uncomfortably nice, Some like I guess one example was when we were in Japan and we're kind of like walking the streets and there's like emergency vehicles coming through, and obviously like they're going super fast. They need to get to the place they need to get. In America, if you're driving and you forget to merge to the right, they're gonna like stall right behind you and they're just gonna honk like nonstop, like nonstop until you move. Like they don't want to go around you because that takes too much time. So
Mm.
they're gonna like force you to move.
Mm.
But in Japan, it's like so different that not only does everybody get out of the way, uniformly, the emergency vehicles like ambulances and fire trucks, they have like loudspeakers that announce what they're gonna do next. So they'll be coming up to like a four-way intersection. They'll be like "Migi ni magarimasu, migi ni magarimasu." So it's like we're turning right, and they're so nice. Like it's almost just like, oh, like even like cops too. They pull you over, and like over here, like yeah, I'm not gonna go into it,
Oh
but
no, a dog
but
dog
yeah,
road.
yeah, like but yeah, everybody's super nice. So yeah, just expect to get a lot of hellos and like welcomes like wherever you go, and especially like if you're a foreigner, they are like genuinely interested in your culture and like who you are. So for example, like if you go to a restaurant and you meet some Japanese businessmen or students, like they're gonna want to talk to you even though they may not know English. They're just genuinely interested about Americans and like I guess foreigners in general too. So um, I think you'll have no problem making new friends if you're out there. And I think another thing is, coming from America, we do have a lot of trash cans in the public, and
Yeah.
there's no problem trying to throw things away. But in Japan, it's like impossible to find a garbage can
Mm.
like in the streets, right? You know?
Oh my god, story of my life every day.
Right.
I just carry a bag with me
I
and be
know.
like, yeah, I just give up.
Yeah, it's like you need to carry around like a plastic baggie just so you could throw all your rubbish away and then put it in your pocket or in your purse or whatever, right?
It's
And
mad, yeah. Don't know why they do that. They have vendies everywhere, but then they don't have the cans for it. So what do they expect us to do?
yeah,
like,
it's just like, well, like I'm stuck with all this now.
like I come home with more trash than like shopping bags, no?
Exactly. I know.
Yeah. But it's so clean as well. Well, a lot of the Japanese people I met said that they don't think Japan is clean compared to, well, Singapore, compared to Singapore whenever I tell them that. But
mm,
with Singapore, we have trash cans everywhere, so that's why we're like decently clean. But for Japan, no trash cans, yet they're so clean. How is that possible?
they just all vaporize. They have like they're
They have like
so
a
ahead in
gun shit.
technology. Yeah, exactly. They just have like, ray guns and like they just shoot whatever rubbish and it just vaporizes. It's all gone.
So those are some good tips to keep in mind. I'm sure you'd have no problem if you and your family had to live in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I've always imagined how it would be like living in Japan, but yeah, no, I don't think so.
Really? Why?
I don't I don't think so. Well, for one, I'm just so used to just driving around everywhere and the freedom to go places. And I think that's one of our biggest challenges as like a young family. Taking the train and public transportation with, at the time she was barely 2 years old,
Mm.
and so it was hard, like carrying all the stroller and up and down the stairs and like into trains and buses and stuff. And I'm not usually a walker either,
Oh
so
no.
like it's kind of like I had to condition for that too.
Yeah, yeah.
But the train system is so efficient.
Mm.
It's never late. So it makes sense to why people in Japan are very like on the dot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it was like once, I think it was late for a minute and it went on the newspaper and apologizing. The
Yeah.
company was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they do it in the loudspeaker, right? Like, we're just so sorry, we're running a little late.
Yeah, and it's like 30 seconds. Like, it's fine, man. I'm not gonna be that late for work. Crazy.
That's another thing too, right? It's like really kind of like rude in Japan culture to like arrive late at like a meetup or like when you're gathering for friends, right?
Yeah, I think you have to be early to be on time.
Exactly.
I think that's the rule here.
Yeah, at least
I can't
15
do
minutes.
Yeah, I'm always late. And when I mean late, like I'm like half an hour late. So they get so mad.
There's this stereotype because I'm half Filipino, so don't go on me. I'm half Filipino, so there's a stereotype that like Filipinos are always like at least 20 minutes late.
Mm.
So whenever we have like little meetups, we always like say, "Oh, we're running a little, we're running Filipino time," and then we arrive like 30 minutes later.
It's the same as like Malays. There's also a stereotype that Malays are always late. So when I arrive, I'm like,
Oh no.
I'm on time. I'm early actually.
Yeah, exactly. You guys better thank me. I'm early.
Yeah,
It's like
I mean,
10 minutes late.
this is like a privilege, man. Like I'm early. So you said you prefer driving. So okay, I'm in Okinawa right now, and the commute is driving. But I'm more used to like Tokyo's train system, Singapore's train system. So I don't know about that, man. I don't agree.
Yeah? Oh, so you do prefer the train more.
Yeah, it's more to me. It's more convenient, you know. Like driving, right? You always have to find parking. It's extremely expensive here, and yeah, there's a lot of things.
That's true. That's true. It's pretty impossible to find parking in LA, so I think you might you won this round, I think.
Yes, Tokyo train systems for the win. Have you been to Okinawa though?
I have not actually. It's always been on my bucket list. So maybe I could ask you like what are some things people can look forward to in Okinawa? Because I'm sure the culture and the environment's really different from Tokyo.
It is. Okinawa feels like it doesn't feel like Japan. For one, there's way more foreigners, but specifically Americans because of the military bases here.
Mm.
So if you go towards like American Village, which is like a neighborhood just for all the restaurants, the bars and stuff, everyone speaks English. So you can practically go around Okinawa without knowing Japanese.
Oh.
I've met a couple of people here who do not know Japanese because, it doesn't feel like Japan at all.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's the big, I think, cultural differences. I can't understand the Japanese here. Like my Japanese is not that good, but I can understand Tokyo level. Came here and the other day I went to a coffee farm and the owner's like an old man, like probably 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot understand him for the life of me. I was, yeah, no, it's me.
You just have to nod and like stand there like hi.
Yeah.
Hi, yo.
Yeah. Just keep bowing the whole time.
Because the dialect is different too, right? Even as people from Japan, from Tokyo, they go to like Okinawa, like the dialect is different, I heard.
It's mad. I think so. The biggest difference I would say is Okinawa because I heard they have a whole different language. But I would say like maybe the younger generation wouldn't know it as much as the older generation. So if you meet older Japanese people in Okinawa, then you probably might have a bit of difficulty. But the younger generation is fine, I'd say. Osaka, the Kansai Ben. I heard that's big.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. That's really cool. Oh, last thing, just super random. So I live in Loma Linda in California. Oh shoot, I just exposed my location. But
To bleep that out.
actually no, maybe it'll be good because I go to dental school there and I need patients. So yeah, if you're in the Loma Linda area, I need patients for my dental clinic.
Just drop by.
But yeah, so Loma Linda is apparently one of the 7 regions in the world where they have the longest living group of people, like over 100 years old. And so I found out because
God.
yeah, because apparently Loma Linda there's a huge like Adventist community where they don't eat meat. Most of them are vegetarian or vegan.
Oh.
And so on the list too, I saw Okinawa is up there on the list as one of the regions where there's a lot of long living individuals. And I heard like the diet is different, and maybe just people in general in Okinawa are more healthy. So I don't know. I was wondering if you had any idea of that.
I don't think they're more healthy. Like, their pork is amazing. One.
Mm.
Two, they have their like own alcohol, which is like awamori,
Oh.
and it burns so bad. So it's like whiskey, but worse.
Oh, what?
So I don't know how that's healthier.
Maybe it cleans out your entire system. Just like kills everything bacteria in your system.
Yeah, so when you come to Okinawa, make sure to drink a lot of awamori.
Yes, yeah, give me your recommendations. I'll write that down my list.
But also the beaches here are amazing.
Oh, right.
It's crystal clear. It's mad. It's insane. I've never seen like a cleaner beach. Well, I don't know. I'm from Southeast Asia. The beaches in like Singapore, they're not that nice. Malaysia is okay. Thailand is nice, but Okinawa is something else in my opinion, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I also did here. I think it's like up there on the list with like Hawaii too.
You were raised in Hawaii, did you say?
Yes, I was. Maybe like a little bit less than 10 years. So
Mm.
I grew up there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like part of our little trip across the Pacific as we went from Japan to Guam to Hawaii to California. So we kind of crossed it.
That's nice. A lot of people compare Okinawa to Hawaii, so if you like Hawaii, you will love Okinawa, basically.
Ooh, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be great.
Mm.
Gotta go.
Maybe skip the typhoon season, which is like August, September.
Oh,
So
yeah. It gets pretty humid, I'm guessing, huh?
humid, extremely humid. But then again, when you see the beach and it's like crystal clear, it doesn't really matter,
Yeah,
does it?
I'm going there for the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no matter if it's hailing or typhoon.
Yeah, I'm going there for the beach. Are there any other places in your bucket list?
Any other places? As far as Japan, let's see. Yeah, Okinawa, I definitely want to go. I never been to Hokkaido, and I heard great stuff about their gyunus, their milk, and their soft serve, and I just can't wait for that. But yeah, no, like I would want to revisit Kyoto and Osaka. We did one trip down, maybe 10 years ago, and I just remembered being really hot because it was in the summer. And it was just so miserable to just walking around, and we're just drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
But so hopefully in the cooler months, I want to go visit all the shrines and the temples.
Hokkaido is amazing. I went there like last month actually. Oh yeah. I went there in February for skiing and the snow.
Oh, you do ski?
Well, I ski a bit. I'm not the best, but I can go down a slope without dying. I think that's okay.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, I recommend skiing or snowboarding in Hokkaido. It's great. It's also like if you go to like Niseko, which is like a neighborhood with the Niseko Mountain, it's kind of like Okinawa in the sense where there's like a foreigner sort of community there.
Oh.
So all the signs are in English. Like you meet people who speak English. It's mad. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, wow. So it seems like Japan is really catering towards the international travelers, especially with like, the 2021 Olympics. They're trying to welcome, the foreigners, and so yeah, I guess if you're interested in going to Japan, it's like now's a really good time to check it out.
How did you hear about the news though? They decided to not let foreigners in for the Olympics.
Oh, did they?
Just
Oh,
released
man.
it like probably a couple hours ago. Last night maybe. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Oh,
It's sad.
so only the athletes are
Yeah.
able to compete.
So
Oh,
yeah, that's a bit sad. But I think like locals, whoever are in Japan, get to be spectators for it. I think.
I see. Yeah, actually, a couple of my friends from high school, they actually signed up to be volunteers for the 2020 Olympics, and this was back when I was in high school, maybe 23rd. Am I exposing my age even more? Yeah, well, that's unfortunate then, but at least they're still going on with the event.
Yeah, I don't think they can postpone it any longer without it going to the next Olympic times.
Yeah. They're gonna postpone it a whole 4 years. It's gonna shift everything down.
And then change the
Wow.
location as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your TikToks. You have almost 500,000 followers. That's mad.
Woo! Yes.
Who's your main audience and what kind of content do you post?
I know it's crazy. I remember last year around Thanksgiving, November, close to Christmas time, I just hit 100,000.
Mm.
I was hoping to maybe, take a break or just, refocus my attention onto other things. But last minute, I decided, you know what? Like, new year, new me. I'm going to post Japanese videos every day for 2021. And so that was like my catchphrase in the beginning of every videos. And it blew up. And within the first month, of 2021, like within January, I gained like 300,000 new followers just like instantly. And I think that kind of got me like more motivated. And so I'm just like trying to make videos every day. And right now it's kind of like settling at around like 490 something. So yeah, so I guess a lot of my followers, they follow anime and are interested in Japanese culture. And so I do a little bit of both where I teach like hiragana, katakana, and common Japanese phrases that they can use when they visit Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And here and there, I do throw in a little anime references, just to kind of relate those two back together. So there's this one video that blew up because of that famous song, "The Mayonaka no Door," by Miki Matsubara.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty interesting how that song went viral, and that kind of helped my videos get a little bit more traction because I used one of the songs in one of my videos. So thank you, Miki Matsubara, for your song and your contribution to the music world.
Yeah, so I do notice a lot of your followers enjoy watching anime.
hmm
And there's always an ongoing war between watching anime with English subtitles or with English dubs. What's your take on that?
Ooh,
Oh no.
you're making me rage war on my followers. Yeah, I'm a this I might lose half of my followers after saying this, but subs over dubs all day,
Yes,
every
subs over
day.
dubs. I'm gonna lose listeners as well. Oh no.
Yeah, it's like you gotta enjoy the anime in its original platform and its original format. And yeah, I mean, I understand though, like when people need or when people can't read the subtitles as fast enough. I've had people come up to me and say like, yeah, like I have dyslexia and I have a hard time reading the subtitles, so that's why I listen to English dubs. And so I was like, okay, like yeah, I didn't really think about that. Um, but subs over dubs.
Yeah,
It'll,
all the way, all the way.
yeah, it helps with Japanese too. I think a lot. I have a friend that learned pretty much Japanese just by watching anime and reading the subtitles and kind of studying them, studying the phrases. And I think through anime you can learn like phrases that are not commonly taught in school, like textbooks. Because a lot of them are conversation based. So
Yeah, and like the reactions as well. Maybe some of them are a bit over the top, but
oh yeah,
when you get the reactions, you kind of know when to use them in real life and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, like how to react with the different tone of your voice and everything. I think anime does an amazing job with
It's
their
like you can say or and there's like two different meanings,
exactly, like or like nani or like nani.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
it matters.
Yeah.
The tone matters.
Sometimes I would walk down the street and then I would hear people speaking like that. I was like, shit, that's kind of like anime. I'm in an anime.
Right. That's like everybody like comes up to me. Oh, you speak Japanese? Say something in Japanese, and they get really disappointed because it doesn't sound like anime.
Yeah, they need to know it's not an everyday thing. If they come to Japan and speak like how people do in anime, then yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But definitely, yeah. Subs over dubs.
Yeah, 100%.
Remember that, kids.
I do know some people that became fluent in Japanese just by reading manga and watching anime. So it's possible, like me as well. I started learning Japanese because of it. So with that said, you're an important ambassador for Nihongo Master. How do you think our online learning system differs from others that you've used?
I think it boils down to how much you're willing to invest in learning Japanese or learning a new language in general. It does definitely take time and sometimes money too, but in the payoff of learning a completely new language, of course. But with that said, learning Japanese will not happen overnight.
Mm.
So, with that said, though, I do see Nihongo Master's efforts to make the learning experience really enjoyable to its students, really interactive with each lesson. I'm able to assess my progress and see, how I'm doing in my journey of, not really learning Japanese, but maintaining my Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially, I suck at kanjis. Like, I can't do any kanji at all. So,
Yeah, no,
um,
gave up
yeah,
on that.
yeah, it's so hard. Like, man, like, hito and, hairu, or like,
Oh my god,
it's
yeah.
like different.
Or like the kanji for like close and open, they're like kind of the same as well. So pressing the buttons on the lift, just get confused.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. It's like, which one was it again? Or like,
Yeah,
migi
I'll
hidari.
just try.
Yeah, no, but you guys do have a lot of tools that students can, be filled with the resources with, and
Mm.
with that said, it's super beneficial for long-term learning. So with that said, use my affiliation code down below.
Just had to slide that in.
Yeah, of course, self-plug. No, all seriousness, yes. Nihongo Master is where it's at, guys. Try your free trial today.
Thank you for your feedback and support. It's really nice of you.
Thank you.
Right. So now let's do something fun. Let's have a short small talk in full Japanese. What do you think?
Yosh, let's do this. I'm down.
Okay.
So we speak in Japanese and say the English translation afterward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. This will be interesting.
今日は沖縄の天気がいいですよ。今はちょっと蒸し暑い。Gino はどうですか? Today, Okinawa's weather is lovely. It's also a bit humid now. What about you, Gino?
カリフォルニアの方はだんだん暑くなってきたから日焼け止めが必要です。In California, it's starting to get hot, so I need to put on some sunscreen more.
東京でも暑くなると思います。私の東京の友達は桜が咲いていると言ってくれましたよ。I think it's getting warmer in Tokyo too. My friends in Tokyo tell me that the sakura is blooming.
そうなんですか。それは綺麗そうですね。Really? That must be beautiful.
桜を見たことがありますか? Have you seen cherry blossoms before?
見たことあります。家族と花見したこと何回もあります。沖縄は桜がありますか? I have seen them. I've gone cherry blossom viewing with my family many times before. Is there sakura in Okinawa?
沖縄は桜が少ないですよ。東京とはかなり違うと思います。沖縄は行ったことがありますか? 行きたいですか? In Okinawa, there aren't much cherry blossoms. It's very different from Tokyo. Have you been to Okinawa? Do you want to go?
沖縄には行ったことがありません。いつか絶対に遊びに行きたいな。No, I have never been to Okinawa. One day I would like to visit.
ジーノはカリフォルニアに住んでいますよね。カリフォルニアはどうですか? 行ったことがないですけど、行きたいです。You live in California, right? How is California? I haven't been, but I want to go.
カリフォルニアは遊園地がいっぱいあるし、ロスにはいろんな食べ物があるから来たらいいよ。California has a lot of theme parks and there's a lot of good places to eat in LA, so you should come.
カリフォルニアでは日本食レストランありますか? 人気ですか? Are there Japanese restaurants in California? Is it popular?
こっちで日本の料理といえば、お寿司が一番人気ですね。シンガポールは日本食は人気ですか? When it comes to Japanese food, I think sushi is the crowd favorite. What about Singapore? Is Japanese food popular there?
そうですよ。ラーメンは一番人気ですよ。でも、私の一番好きな日本食はうどん。ジノは? It is popular. Ramen's the most popular. But my favorite food is udon. What about you, Gino?
いや、それはラーメンでしょう。絶対に。 Nah, ramen over noodle.
No, like it's nice, but like udon it hits different, don't you think?
But like the ramen broth, it's just so thick and unhealthy. It's just like, good for your soul.
That's like cheat day. Then yeah, ramen. But
True,
udon
true.
just like kind of cleanses
That definitely.
all
Well,
the.
I guess we could agree to disagree on this one.
Agree to disagree. Nah, I like ramen just on very specific days.
Yeah.
Right, Gino. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun, wasn't it? So where can people find you? What's your social media plugs?
Yes, so you can follow me at Hey Gino-san on Instagram and TikTok. And if you ever need dental work, come through to my school because I need patients.
And that wraps up our chit chat and small talk with TikToker Gino K about anime, Japanese language, and Japanese culture. Our dedicated listeners out there, did you catch the grammar language that we went through in this season's Study Saturday? That's just a quick recap for you. For those of you who have no idea what I'm chatting about, Study Saturday is our bite-sized language series that covers basic, essential, and everyday grammar language with related vocabulary. If you haven't checked that out yet, give them a listen right now. Pop onto the Nihongo Master blog for a recap post that covers what we talk about in every podcast episode, from grammar language, highlights, and even a full vocab list. And if you want to learn Japanese for yourself, you can find Nihongo Master on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the official website to learn more about our interactive online learning system. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you'll tune in next time when we discover another part of Japan's rich culture. Mata ne!